So it's been 7 days since my hair transplant, and I can safely say that at the moment I have no regrets whatsoever in doing this. I have done some separate videos, so I did day dot to day 1 and then day 2 to day 3 and 4. But really after day 4 there wasn't much to talk about. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to do a weekly review, so to speak, for the next, I don't know, 6 months, 12 months potentially, I don't know. Let's see how long it goes on for, but I'm doing this realistically to help other people. Why? Because I'm a massive believer in what goes around comes around in life, and a lot of people out there, they did reviews, they did talking about their journey and updates and things, and I found it very, very interesting. So at the moment, I'll just move my head forward a bit. You can see that I've still got some pretty big scabs on my head. I have had a little bit of bleeding, not my head or anything like that, just, I don't know whether it's bleeding or just a bit of leakage. I always like to say a bit of pus or something like that, particularly there. Not so much there, but let's just really review the 7 days. So last Sunday I went and got on a plane to Turkey, and then Monday I had the procedure. So as I say, I'm 7 days on from that. So the procedure itself was, I'd already had a consultation beforehand, and a WhatsApp conversation and photographs and video footage and everything. And I've basically been told that I could have the procedure done, that I had the grafts and everything to do so. Last Monday when I got to the clinic, obviously you go through a lot of paperwork, you have to sign your life away, so to speak, but no, it was all good. A lot of legal documents and things like that. You also then sit down with the doctor, and he then evaluates your hair again, live in person, puts camera in there so you can see, and explains everything. And it was very good, actually. He explained things in depth, showed the different hair follicles that potentially have, 3 hairs coming out, 2 hairs coming out, 1 hair coming out, and stuff like that. So, the hairs on the side of your head predominantly tend to have more 1 hair coming out, but the ones at the back, they're sporadic. It also showed that my hair density isn't the best. I've always thought I had fine hair, and I've always said I had fine hair, because I do at the end of the day. But now to see it actually, where the follicles in a space were quite spaced out. He said to me, realistic expectations here are that your hair is not going to be particularly any thicker than it always has been, no matter what we do. And what we'll try and do, what we will do is make sure that it's consistent. So it's consistent all the way across. So yeah, it filled me with a lot of confidence when we went through that. Then he designed, which you may have seen all of this, but then they design your cut, the style, and your hairline at the end of the day. So it's an interesting one, that, because when he drew it on, I was looking at it in the mirror. I had a big mirror and everything. I'm holding up the mirror and I'm thinking, eh. Now I have got quite a big forehead anyway, so I've got no problems with that. And I looked at it, and he went, as you can see from the side, down here, rather than where some of my hair is here. Now I did say to him, well, how come we haven't gone to the hair here? Well, believe it or not, I'm actually receding here at the temples. So he could have filled the temples here, but then this, within a few years, could potentially be gone. and you'd have to go back and get it all done again. He said better to just embrace that bit going and have your hairline going down to the next bit. So for me, it made a lot of sense. And again, it also filled me with a lot of confidence because he knew what he was on about. I looked at it, it makes sense to me. I quite actually like my hair shaved like it is at the moment. So for me, really, I've said this before, I'm not expecting a big bouffant, big hair, but a worst case scenario is I'll just have a number 1 all over or something, but at least I'll have a hairline. So that was good. So anyway, they drew the hairline on, they take a load of pictures and everything, and then they shave your head. Basically, they take you into the washroom, they wash your hair and everything, and then they shave your head, give it all the buzz cut. You'll see some pictures popping up while I'm talking here. And then what they do then is they put a dye on the back of your head. You can see the back of the head there. They put a dye across the back of the head with it all shaved, and then they put some sort of, cover on it. And then that dye, when they wash it off, will show them exactly where their stubble is, so to speak, for the hair follicles. So you have that, you sit with that for a little bit, and then they take you through. Now, some people have said to me, what was it like there? Was there loads of people and everything? And no, it was just me. It was just me and the team. Then there was a team of people there, and they have, where I went, they have 2 rooms, 2 operating or procedure rooms, if you like, both at the end of each corridor. Then they have an office and a sort of, where they talk to you and everything area as well as obviously a reception that's out the way. And then they have a washroom and they have a few other rooms. I didn't see all the rooms because they do different cosmetic procedures there. But no, so it was me. I wasn't like led in a room, in a booth. I was expecting potentially to be in a room, a bit like you have at hospitals if you're in the UK. You sort of have a room and maybe a curtain around it. I thought it might be a little bit more savvy than that, and maybe have a booth there, a booth there, a booth there, and then maybe me here, somebody else there. And a whole sort of conveyor belt of people getting this done. But that wasn't the case where I went, which was nice because it just meant that they were solely focusing all day long on me. They took their time on me, and yeah, you feel special. But it's nice as well because you're not in there with loads and loads of other people. It's very exclusive to just you, which I liked that. I like that privacy, and I like the fact that nothing else was really taking their mind away from the fact that they weren't thinking, oh, I need to get Mark done now because I need to go and do this guy and this guy. It was like, we just need to get this guy done and dusted and do it the right way. So that was good. So I was in a private room. I had to lay down on what was like a bit of a masseuse table, I suppose. I've never been on a masseuse table, but it had that ring that you put your head into, and of course the back of your head's up there. Now the worst thing for me was not actually the transplant itself going on. It was actually laying on this bed. And of course, this bed was up a little bit like that. So your spine was sort of back. And it almost felt like you were in stress positions. Now you could move because you had some commands. So obviously I'm in Turkey. I don't speak Turkish. They don't speak that well English. But I did have a translator, let me just say. So the translator picked me up from the hotel. And the translator stayed with me all day. And I had that on both days. And he was a great guy. He was really good. So that was good. I also got to choose what I had for lunch as well, so that when we had extracted all the follicles, between that and them setting themselves up for insertion and everything, I was sent off for lunch, which was nice, which was just down the corridor, which was great. Sit there and have 5. And they then start to take the follicles out. And as I say, the worst pain is the anesthetic that they start to jab in around the edges, and that ain't very pleasant at all. I've got quite a good pain threshold, and people say to me, what was it like on a scale of 1 to 10? Well, 10's got to be like excruciatingly make you scream for me. I would say that was probably about a 4 or 5. It was horrible. The thing was, you just, once you'd had it and it was like, oh, you little stingy thing, you just knew more were coming. Do you know what I mean? So it was a case of, ooh, you just got to grin and bear that. And then, of course, they start putting it into the actual area. And I still got a bit of, I still can feel it around the edges here. Around the edges here, I can still feel a stinging. Not a scale of 1 to 10, 2. Nothing major. but I can still feel a bit of a stinging. But once, obviously, that starts to go numb, you have your 2 commands, which is stop, if you want them to stop so you can move and adjust yourself. I tried not to do that. I just thought, grin and bear it, Mark. Do a bit of meditating. Just think about your breathing and try and count how many follicles they're taking out. And the other one is pain. If you felt pain, then they would have stopped and just given you another jab to ease the pain. And the pain really was, well, it wasn't massive. There was a couple of times that I felt pain and I didn't say it. And the translator had said to me, if you feel pain, Mark, just tell us. Don't fight through the pain. There's no point. So I did sit there, and I don't know why. I guess it's stiff upper lip. I just thought I can deal with this. And at one point I did at the back said pain, and they sorted it out. And when they were making the insertions at the top of the head, I felt it there as well. I could have managed if they'd have just gone past, but they didn't. They kept going back, and it's just like, whoa, no. If they're going to keep going back there. Pain. So they extracted the hair follicles. That's quite a bloody procedure. You don't really see a lot when you lift your head off of the donut. You see all this blood around the edge, and it's just like, oh, okay. But they did that. They extracted 3,000 odd follicles, probably a little bit more. I don't know. And then they put like a headband on you and a cap on you, and sent me for lunch. So I just sat and ate pizza for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes and had a Sprite, and then went and had a toilet break as well. And then went back in for the surgeon, the main man himself, to come and start putting little holes in my head. And that's the next thing. So they start to do that. Again, all the injections go around first. That's pretty unpleasant. But it's not as bad as the first lot, because you've already sort of had it done. So you are under anesthetic anyway. If you see by a picture, look at my eyes, I'm glazed all over. I'm buzzing, woo! So then, yeah, doctor comes in, does that. Once he's finished, they come in very clean, very clean. Everything was cleaned top to bottom every time they did something. Then they did ask me if I needed to do anything. I said, I'm all right, I'm good to go. They put little snacks and a little drink by the side of you as well, in case you feel dizzy or queasy or anything, or you just want a drink or something. I think I had a swig of water at that time, but then I was sat on my back at that time. But you got to have your head forward. And the thing is with that, when you swallow, you move, because your windpipe's sort of closed a bit. So I had to be careful of that, just trying to breathe through my nose and things. It sounds worse than it was. It'd probably be all right for other people. This is just what I struggled with, just being honest with you. So then, which way did I lie at the end? Right, it was only a week ago, wasn't it, at the end of the day? So then, I think I had to turn around then and lie on my... Oh, did I have my head back? No, I had my head back. No, I was still on my back. Still on my back. You can tell I was really with it. I slept a little bit. That's how bad it was. I slept. I managed to dip in and out of sleep on a little bit. I don't know if I really slept, but I sort of dozed. And then I had 2 lovely ladies working on me with the surgeon guy behind me, and that was when they started to put the follicles in, and that was quite a process. And then I don't know if it's about halfway through doing that, they put me on a drip for pain relief. Because you have what's it called? They take bloods and stuff at the beginning as well. So they put me on a little drip for pain relief, and they give me air, like the thing on the nose, and that was just because my blood. They were saying my blood's quite thick, so they wanted to get more air in the blood and things. The pain relief, I don't know whether it's just something that they do. I didn't need it. They just say we want to give you that for pain relief. I was just like, okay, you know what you're doing. So I had that. They carried on doing that, and I think all in all, from start of them taking the hair follicles to putting the last one in, putting the bandages on me, tidying me up, getting me ready to stand up and leave, I looked at my watch. I think it had been about 6.5, 7 hours. Okay, it didn't feel that long. There was times when it did. There was times when it thought, oh, this is going on forever. When I was uncomfortable particularly, but it didn't feel that long. So when you say 6.5 hours, oof, can I lie down and do that for 6.5 hours? Maybe you can. I did, and then I was all right. After that, I was all right. I was basically told, don't look down. 6'4", everything's down to me. Don't look down. Obviously, don't bang your head. And then just sleep and rest. And of course, they give you the pills to take, some pain relief, aspirin to thin my bloods, and antibiotics, which I had to start taking on a full stomach. The clinic was literally just around the corner from my hotel. So I didn't have to worry about getting in and out of a car, which is another concern of mine. If you have to get a taxi, or you have to get a driver or something to take you to and from the clinic, getting in and out of a car might bang my head. Didn't have any of that. I was able to walk around. The translator walked me back to the hotel. They met me at the hotel, walked me around there, and they took me back and made sure that I was okay. Hotel, obviously, they're used to people doing this. So they were lovely. They were great as well, because you know, they knew what was going on. I had a bit of a laugh with the waiter who tried to bring me out a bottle of beer, knowing that you can't drink after doing this. I said, oh, I can't have that. He said, I know, and started laughing. So we had a bit of banter, a bit of a joke, which was nice. I went down for dinner. I didn't just stay in my room. I went down and had dinner in the restaurant area. Just asked them to put me in the corner out of the way. And yeah, then it was all just about resting and things like that. I then, the second day, had all the bandages and things that were catching all of the blood and stuff from the back of the head. Wasn't really looking forward to having those taken off, because, you know, we've all had a band-aid or we've had bandages taken off before. But when I went there, basically, I had a headband on, which you'll see in the picture there. I had a headband on. They snipped the headband, and it basically fell off. Nothing to worry about. No ripping, no pulling. There was a couple of gauze that they had to pull, but again, didn't feel a thing. Didn't feel a thing. Then they proceeded to wash the hair, rub some whatever lotion, shampoo or whatever into it, wash it all down. There was a slight issue. There was a slight issue here, which is why that's a bit darker. And I think it was back here. This looks here because it's just dripped down a little bit. It's dry now. Where they had to come in and they had to, I don't know, mess with something. And it just made it bleed a little bit, and it did a little bit there. Other than that, they said everything's good. Just got to take it easy. So went back to the hotel. I didn't fly till the Wednesday, which was a no-wash day. So you had the operation on a Monday. They went back and they changed the bandages and cleaned it all off on the Tuesday. And then the Wednesday, I went home. I didn't have to wash it that day. But then on Wednesday, you have sirloin spray, which is a spray that they've got in a little thing here. So all I do is every hour, every couple of hours, is that. Just do that every couple of hours. Oh, that's lovely, nice. And it sort of relieves the scabs, if you like, and everything. Now, I've seen some people not have many scabs when it comes to being a week on. Top of my head is still pretty scabby. So the first wash was on Thursday, and I have a foam that I put on just on the transplanted area, and I leave that for an hour. And then I rinse that off with lukewarm water. And then I have the soap, which you can rub on. So you lather it onto your hands, you tap it onto your head. You can put it on a sponge and thing it, but I just found that useless doing it like that. So tap the soap on, leave it a couple of minutes. You can, the back of your head, you know, you can play with. You can't really do no wrong there. Just make sure everything's clean and tidy. And then rinse that off. And then just let it dry. Don't bother toweling it or anything. I tend to do that, and then I stand in the shower and have like a neck down shower as well, just to basically get fresh. So that's what I've been doing. That's why I haven't really done an update since I got home and did the update, because there hasn't been much to say. I've got some serious. So I watched gradually as the swelling started coming down. Now I did say at the clinic, do I get a headband? Because I've seen people with headbands to keep swelling away from the face. And they said, realistically, you're just keeping all the swelling and the pressure up there. You're better off just letting it drop, but make sure you keep your head back so that swelling sort of bypasses your face. Well, I did that as best as I could. But as you can see from that picture there, I did get quite a lot of swelling around the eyes. It's still there a little bit, but it is pretty much going now. And it was nothing to worry about. It didn't annoy me or anything like that. I got some bruising as well where the swelling's come down. But I think that's just part and parcel of the process. So yeah, 7 days in, sleeping. Ooh, that's probably about the only thing that I've struggled with a bit, because you have to sleep at like a 45 angle degree. You have a neck pillow on. You don't put your head back because it can be quite tender and sore. And that's been hit and miss. So I have had some nights where I've got out of bed and messed about for a few hours to go back to bed. You know, some people have said they've waited till they're really, really tired. So they stay up late till they're really, really tired and go to bed. That's probably a good idea. Even last night, I was awake for, I think, a couple of hours. I just thought I'd just chill in bed and just rest. So sleeping's been the biggest hurdle of, and I thought it would be anyway, because I like to sleep on my side. I'm a bit of a tosser and a turner when it comes to sleeping and things, but it's not massively a major problem. You can always have a painkiller or something before you go to bed to help you if you need it. But genuinely, over the last week, you know, it's been nice to have my wife's helped me with the washing, which has made life a bit easier there. I've doing what I'm told to do. Today is wash 5. So once I've done wash 5 today, I will take pictures and I will send them to the clinic for them to look at. How does my head feel at the moment? It still feels sort of numb here. If I touch that ever so slightly, it feels numb. The back feels quite tender. It still feels sore, I have to say, around the edges here. Just sort of here, I've still got a little sort of sore stingy bit. Or just sore at the end of the day. But I think that's as well with the scabs are coming off here as well. You get lots of, obviously, little round scabs coming off. You know, it's going to be 3,032 grafts they took, or they put on the top of my head. So that's a pretty good number. I did have a laugh at the time. I said, who counted that? I tried to count. I lost count at just over 1,000 when they were taking them. I think I fell asleep, actually. It was like counting sheep, but counting hair follicles. So, but all in all, as I say, this is just an update. This is just to tell you what's going on. I put some pictures and stuff on, show you the backs and the sides and all of that good stuff. And if you're thinking about doing this sort of thing, then at least this hopefully will help you. I'm not going to sit here and ramble on for no real reason. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head right now if there's anything else that I wanted to say. But yeah, the plane journey was fine. Flying didn't hurt or anything like that. I didn't drink too much before I got on the plane, so I made sure that once I was sat down, I wasn't going to move. Got a window seat so that nobody in the aisle could drop a bag on my head or anything like that. I was well aware. I was quite lucky in the sense that I had extra leg room, which I paid for, and we had an empty seat between us. So there was a seat of 3. There was a guy on the aisle. There was nobody between us on the way home, which was nice as well, so we could spread out a bit. I basically downloaded a couple of movies on the iPad, stuck the iPad as high as I could on a seat in front of me, so that it tucked down into where they keep the cards and stuff, so that I could keep my head up and watch a couple of films, and the flight was over in no time. Then was just careful getting in and out of my own 4x4 to come back. The wife drove, lovely jubbly, picked me up. And I say I've just been chilling since. So the first 7 days, just be ready to rest. Just be ready to rest. Listen to your body. Don't try and force yourself. I've seen a lot of people getting out there, going for walks and things. I don't particularly want to. I'm in the UK anyway, and it's been miserable since I've been back. It's been raining every day, so you can't go out in the rain unless you put a hat on. I'm not putting a hat on. I'm not messing with anything. I'm just taking it easy because this is important. You can't keep messing about. You can't keep going through things like this. So do what it says. You know, somebody wants to do this and then go back to work. Depends on how many follicles you have, and it depends on your age. I'm a little bit older, so you know, it could be people that are quite young who's might have had all the scabs and stuff off by now. You know, I know my blood's quite thick, so I do know it could take a couple of weeks to get all of those off. But I'll do whatever the process is to get rid of them, but do it in a sensible manner. I'm in no hurry. I think the thing is, this is a marathon now. This isn't a sprint to try and get, you know, a full head of hair in the next 4 weeks. Be realistic. You know, it might be 6, 7, 8 months before this actually starts to look any good. It actually starts to look like I've got a bit of hair there. Do you know what I mean? It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. I'm in it for the long journey. So let it take its course. Let it heal properly. Keep taking the progress pictures. Keep talking to the clinic if you have any issues whatsoever. And keep everything nice and clean and tidy. And if you can set some time aside to do this sort of thing, then you'll be all right with that. Don't rush it, okay? And like I say, anything drastic happens, I'll do a little update for it. But I'm really going to do, you know, this is day 7, so to speak, from having I'll do day 14 and so on and so on. And you know, for people that are interested. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Do feel free to reach out to me as well. I do have more on the podcast channel as well to help people who are getting involved in property or wanting to build property businesses. Or to build businesses. But as for the hair transplant, I'm going to share this journey with you, and I hope it helps you. And like I say, if you need any help or you want to find out any more, then please feel free to reach out to us. Always happy to help, and always happy to see others creating the futures that they like and making sure that they're happy in themselves. So that's me signing off now. I shall speak to you in 14 days' time. Take care. Bye for now.